All right, we got a Labor Day special today. A little show, a little bit different this week, where we don't really have any PGA Tour event to talk about. We'll touch a little bit on the Omega European Masters, but this show is mostly going to be just us kind of shooting the shit about the season, kind of little season recap, our thoughts, and just talk some golf.
Yeah, maybe a little expectations for some of these guys moving forward. What we think of the upcoming President's Cup, how that's going to play out. And then actually the best fall events are probably on the Euro Tour, right?
Yeah, and I think there's some decent PGA Tour ones to think about. I mean, you get the Utah event.
I can't wait for the Utah event just because I played the course. So
yeah, and then we get the Fortinet that we hit last year. That's next week, and there's Live Chicago, and there's a team match play. So really, with this new schedule, there's no real break.
Yeah, kind of was hoping there'd be a couple weeks.
Well, I
think they should. Don't you think they should, after this tour championship, they should just have 2 weeks off and then play the President's Cup?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then do the fucking Fortinet or whatever it's called now, Procore, after that.
Absolutely, they should. And I also think there is like a real 6-week break, like in December, right?
Yeah. I mean, most of these guys are taking, most of all these big guns that played are taking a break completely after the President's Cup.
Right. And I think it's good. I mean, I do like the fall series because I like the way they do it now. They're going to make the ranking it so these guys are actually playing for something. So it's kind of something to follow.
I do like that. They definitely have, that's definitely better than what it was previously. So hats off to the PGA Tour for that.
What are they playing for exactly? Do you know?
Don't they play for the top 125, get their card? You got that up?
I'm going to get it up. Yeah, the fall swing. What's it called?
FedEx Fall Series, I think.
FedEx Fall Series. Are they playing for the ability to get into any elevated events or no?
No, those elevators were locked top 70, whoever made the BMW. Oh, no, top 50.
All right, so here we go. So tournaments in the FedEx Cup Fall offers winners the same benefits as regular season events, including a 2-year exemption, FedEx Cup points, and a spot in the Players. But the FedEx Cup is also when the top 125 eligibility, which proves exempt status into full field events and spot in the Players, is finalized. So after the conclusion of the FedEx Cup playoffs, the players ranked 51st and beyond in the FedEx Cup will continue to compete for points in the fall.
Yeah. So 51 to 70 have already locked up their top 125 eligibility. So then 71 to 125 are basically fighting for their card, right?
Yeah, but also the top 10 players in the FedEx Fall list who aren't eligible already get into the 2 signature events.
The players, only 2?
It says get into the 2 signature events following the season opening century. So the next 2.
Oh, so the next 2, that would be Tiger's event, right?
Yeah.
And probably, well, Pebble.
So the top 10 on that list get to go into maybe because those 2 have a 70.
Yeah.
Right. There's only 50 that are exempt and there's 70 spots.
Well, then they go to OWGR, don't they? And
sponsors. Right, but I'm saying there is still spots to give away.
Yeah. So there's another thing. They really need to when they're doing these tournaments, they need to hone in on like guys like on the like 120 range, you know?
Yeah.
In their broadcasts. So that's where the excitement is.
I think in the fall they will.
Yeah. It sounded like they were going to play around with it.
I think it's,
Did you watch any of Monahan's press conference the other day?
No.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. Just similar talking points. Wouldn't answer a fucking question. Fucking retarded.
The Tour Championship was the first week of the season. I didn't watch a single shot.
You watched nothing?
Not a single shot. I didn't turn it on once.
I watched a little bit yesterday because there was nothing else on TV. I didn't understand why wasn't any college football on during the day yesterday.
I know.
I watched a little bit yesterday and I was like, "Fuck this! This is."
I was watching Team Spidey Adventures.
So, I mean, I can't imagine the ratings were good,
They had to be horrible.
especially Saturday when college football was like kicking off. They had to be absolutely horrific. I bet you Sunday was better just because there's nothing else on TV.
You have the olds just flip it on.
Yeah. Like my grandfather definitely had it on. I mean, what else is he watching? He's
You
not.
probably had no idea like that Scott even started at 10 under.
Oh, he did because I saw him Saturday and I explained it to him. I was like, "Fuck this event. This
Yeah.
is the real reason why." But if he didn't, I explained it to multiple people Saturday. They had no idea, and these are multiple olds.
Yeah. They just turned on. Oh, Scotty's at 30 under. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't invest much in terms of betting wise. I took the Rory. That's it. And you were trying to convince me. Everyone's saying bet this guy for the top. None of that shit. And I'm so happy I didn't, because there's just the whole betting market in that event was awful.
Yeah, I was glad I didn't either. And I was actually, we were texting, let's get on somebody live, and I didn't get on anybody live. I was like, fuck this, Scotty's gonna win.
Yeah.
You just tell. So I'm glad I didn't put any more money into it. I hit Rory because I thought the number was good, 22, and then I hit Horschel, which was a terrible bet, but that was it. So didn't lose much money last week, which is positive. They got to change. Do you think there's any chance they change this event now?
I do think there's a chance. Yeah. I mean, I think the criticism is so widespread now. There's like not one person defending it anymore.
Right. And FedEx got to fucking hate it, but they get a lot of promotion throughout the season. But like that I mean, why would you do this? Even like Scheffler's like shitting on the event.
Yeah.
You hear Morikawa?
Yeah, about the stroke net thing.
He's like, yeah, I was kind of just playing towards that fake leaderboard that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
You just like you come in second in the FedEx, you just shitting on the fucking event. You're like, I was happy to win that one. And then Tagala would have won without strokes if he didn't call a penalty on himself.
It's crazy. And that's why I hate that market. I don't like betting it. And I want to remember never to do it because I just don't like it. Like Tagala probably didn't even know what he was playing for.
No, because it does that was meaningless to him. Even if
Right.
I mean he would have tied Morikawa. So it did cost him some money.
Don't
the FedEx rank, because Morikawa finished minus 26, Tagala minus 24. So he would have tied. It probably cost him like $2 million.
Isn't the world ranking points?
The world ranking, Colin gets the win.
Yeah, they get credited for the fake tournament.
Right, but I mean that.
I guess they do know then.
Yeah, that. Yeah, if they really, do you think these guys like Colin gives a shit about world ranking points?
I don't know, probably not.
But I mean that penalty cost him like $2.5 million.
Yeah, why'd he call it on himself?
Just being honest, I guess. That rule needs to kind of change, I guess. I don't know. Didn't affect shit, I don't think.
No. I mean, Scotty, I mean, yeah. What a season, though, really. I mean, I know not that this really adds that much to it, but the season was fucking insane.
It was insane, but I didn't like all the people fucking 7 wins. I'm like, this wasn't really a real win.
Yeah, starts at 10 under.
I mean, it's just his season was incredible. There's nothing you can do. You can't knock his season at all. That being said, he did win a lot of these events with 60 to 70 man fields.
Yeah.
How many full field events did he win?
Players,
the only, and I guess the Masters, but it's not even a full field.
That's it.
That was it?
I think so. API was what, 80?
Yeah, so that wasn't a full field.
Heritage wasn't a full field. Olympics wasn't a full field.
Travelers wasn't.
The 2 majors, the FedEx. Yeah, no.
I guess we'll get into that. So Scotty's the first guy here. I mean, I guess this is the best season since Tiger, right?
Yeah, it is.
What win were you most impressed with?
I think I said this at the time, but I think the most impressive one was when he won Heritage, because he was coming off the Masters and just goes and wins the next week. No one was expecting him to do that. It's a course that necessarily, yeah, it fits him because everything fits him, but like it's a course where other guys can win, not that skill set.
So you think that was more of an impressive win than the Players? I guess the other would be the Players, the Masters, and the Olympics for me. I think I'd rank the Olympic win second.
Yeah, I think in terms of like, it's not the best win, the Heritage one. That was one that just surprised me the most, I guess, is a better
Right.
way to say it. But
Obviously, the Masters is the best win.
Yeah, Masters is the best win.
But I like that was kind of, he was the hottest guy. It was kind of expected, right?
Yeah. You always say the hottest player going to the Masters wins, and he was.
Yeah.
Is this going to continue though?
Right. All right. That was my next question. But before we get to that, the Players, I mean, winning back-to-back Players, nobody's ever done that. So there's another thing.
Yeah, and he came from pretty far back.
Yeah, the Players in the Olympics, he came from far back, like 7 shots. I think those are more impressive individual wins than the Masters.
Yeah, I mean, just because the Masters is what it is now, it's just smaller field. You get, and even in the smaller field, you still get a bunch of them who has no chance to compete, and then whoever's playing at the best at the time usually wins. So, but I mean, a major is a major.
No, that one definitely counts way more than those other two. But like, just the way he won those 2 events, like the Players, he had the neck thing.
Oh yeah,
and he was fucking 7, 8 shots back going into Sunday. And then the Olympics, he was 7 shots back on 11, and you had actual, like, Rahm was in the field.
Yeah, that's true. I think that was a big part of it. The Players did seem like it was missing something without a lot of these good players. Like he had to beat Schwartz and Harman.
We haven't even mentioned the Memorial win.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right. So I guess the question is, moving forward, are we still getting this, Scotty?
It's tough to say. I mean, I don't think he's going to win 8 times next year. But I think for him, the next step, the most important part of his career now is getting one of those majors besides the Masters.
Right.
I think now his success going forward is based off of that.
Yeah, definitely. Has to be.
Like if he wins a Masters again, yeah, that would be pretty incredible.
Do you think the strokes gain numbers are going to continue though?
I mean, it's tough because I didn't think they were going to this long, but now there really is we've seen no reason as to why it isn't. Like if I said it's not, I have no way to back that up.
It's just your hatred shown.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want it to be that way, but I guess if you really, to play devil's advocate, I think we could say he didn't seem as much himself towards the very end of the season.
Right.
And he had a couple of those back issues. I know he still played great this week, but maybe the injury thing, the family thought, he has a kid. You think maybe that hurts him. And he's been winning ever since he had his kid. So it's not that. I think Tiger has to bang his wife.
Yeah, we need Tiger to bang his wife. I don't think the kid hurts him yet. I mean, it's mostly just the mother, right?
I would hope so.
At this stage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you think it continues?
I don't see him winning 7 times again. It's an all-time season. It's an all-time season. I mean, the only other 2 to do that were Tiger and VJ.
Does the strokes gain stuff continue?
Yeah, I think it does. But I think the other players are gonna elevate.
You would hope
he could have easily. All right, let's go down his wins. API, he kind of rolled on Sunday, right?
Yep.
Players could have easily lost that. Masters, he rolled on. He took the Masters on the back 9. That was the most impressive 9 I've seen all season out of him, was the back 9 at the Masters.
Who's he competing with in the front? I don't even remember.
Ludwig Morikawa. It was Ludwig Morikawa. Bryson was kind of tailed on Saturday, remember?
Yeah.
It was Ludwig and Morikawa and Homa.
Oh yeah, and then Scotty, I remember.
Remember Ludwig went in the water on 11. Homa went into the bush on 12 and got stuck up there.
Yeah.
and Morikawa went into the water on 11.
And Scotty,
Everybody just crumbled.
yeah, and Scotty just played it to the right of the green on 11. Like, why isn't everyone else doing that? It just shows his course management's above everybody.
Yep. Heritage, he won by 3 shots. Memorial, he could have easily lost that to Colin.
He should have.
Travelers could have easily lost it to Tom. The Olympics could have easily lost that. So I mean,
those last 3, we could have fucking hit all those 3.
I know. Couple of these tournaments could have easily gone different directions. There's 4 tournaments that could have gone different directions. So yeah, winning 7 times is tough.
You know what? All 4 of those, we had the runner-up.
Yeah. Prediction for how many wins he has next year?
I'm gonna say 4.
Okay, I was gonna say 3 to 4.
But
kind of hard seeing him not win multiple times.
With these fields and the weaker fields and the smaller fields, it is hard to see that. I think for him, I mean, if he wins 3 times, but one of them is the U.S. Open, that's a great season for him.
Yes. Or the Open or the PGA.
Yeah, I just think the U.S. Open is probably his best chance. But if we, the way we preface, I think it's a good way to preface what we're going to be doing today a little bit, is going into if guys had successful seasons or not. And I think for him, that's what a successful season would be next year. This year obviously was a very successful one.
Yeah, 7 wins in a major. No doubt.
Do you think, are you concerned about his play in the other 3 majors?
Well, I mean, he was pretty much there at the PGA most of it, besides that one round.
Yep, when he got arrested.
The next day. U.S. Open, I think that was more of a course thing, right?
Yeah.
And then what do you do at the Open? Finish T7. No, I'm not concerned.
Okay. I do think the Open might be a problem for him long term in terms of.
Yeah, but he still finishes top 10 every time.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely, his floor is just incredibly high. Like, what's his worst finish this season?
The BMW. No, the U.S. Open T41, and then the BMW. It's just tournaments that have high variables.
Yeah.
Like the BMW T33, U.S. Open T41. Other than that, his worst finish was 17th.
And that's why we said we didn't really like him at the BMW, and that worked out.
Yeah. His worst finish was 17th at the Amex, when that's just a kind of a clown event.
It's going to be nice at the fall. We don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, be great.
He needs some time off. He's going to take some time off.
Needs to have another kid.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have another kid and it'll come out black.
That could work in our favor.
Right?
Yeah.
Tiger slanging that thing.
I mean, imagine actually, no. It's a Tiger Woods kid being raised by Scotty might be a pretty good golfer.
All right, let's go down. You just want to go down the FedEx rank, or?
Yeah, that is the most important thing in golf. So.
All right.
Do you want to talk real quick about what format you'd like to see the Tour Championship?
Oh yeah, I think they should go back to the normal one, the original one.
Yeah, I don't think that leaderboard thing is really a problem, it being complicated. But I do think I just want match play. But then it becomes I want 2 rounds of stroke play. That way that people can earn a bye. So you'd get the top 4 seeds get a bye. So if you're started at -10 and -8, you have a real strong chance of getting that. And you're playing for positioning. So and then the rest of them you fill in.
How do they do it? The tour is going to be like, well, how do we sell this on Sunday? There's only 2 guys on the course. That's their deal with the match play.
I know. Then you just have to be playing for other things, whether it's money that people don't care about, and then you still
just have a bunch of matches. They each play for spots, right?
Yeah, you're playing against, like filling in your spot of where you finish on the season standings.
Yeah, have a bronze medal game, have a 5th, 6th place game.
Right, and it's not that interesting, but at least you can bet on every match.
Yeah,
these guys are going to want to win because there is a big monetary difference.
I mean, they were barely showing shots yesterday when I was watching of other guys.
That's the thing. If you're worried about the ratings and shit, then this way's not working either. So at least make it interesting. And then also you could do like even if you wanted to, they did the Creator Classic thing on Wednesday. Get a couple creator matches on Sunday
Oh, there you go. I
during
didn't
while
watch
the
a second of
finals
that
on.
shit either.
I didn't either, but I mean, people seem to like it. So why don't you have, a couple creator 2-on-2, good versus the Bryan brothers, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll bring Bryson in. He's a creator.
Yeah. But I think that they want to get these creators involved. They had it the week of the Tour Championship. So why don't you do that on Sunday and give people something to watch while the main match is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I just think the old format was fine.
It was fine. It was better.
I mean, if it's not Tiger Woods who won, like, would it even have changed? Tiger won
No.
the event and Rose won the FedEx, and that's what happened. They didn't like that.
Yeah, I think that makes so much more sense though, because the FedEx is supposed to be accumulation of your entire season.
Yeah, there's way more drama.
Yeah,
There was a lot of drama in the Tiger one.
right.
I remember it was Rose and Horschel were playing for the FedEx.
I remember it too. I remember it vividly. Yeah. Yep.
And I didn't, well, I didn't fully care because we had a Tiger bet. You were on Tiger that week, weren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
20-1.
Well, yeah, I thought it was 25.
Yeah, and that was a great season by Rose, huh?
Yeah.
It's like age 38 season too.
That's how old he was, 38.
Yeah.
He also had Rory in there. Remember, Rory was playing with Tiger.
Oh yeah, he crumbled to him.
Yep.
Get people walking up the fairway and shit.
So I'm not going to go by FedEx, actually. I'm going to go by this fucking meaningless OWGR rank. Just because that'll bring us to the guy who had the second best season, Xander. Number 2 in the world. What do you make? Obviously, super successful season. 2 majors. I mean, but no other wins.
Yeah, a little strange to see that. Amazing season for him. I'm not as high on him long term as a bunch of people were. Right after he wins those majors, everyone's saying he's the best chance for the Grand Slam. I still think he is who he is. He just figured out how to win, and that's great. He's great. He's a great player. He's the second best player in the world right now. But I don't think he's going to be elevated into this next category.
Like what? Like what category? You don't
An
think he's
all-time
the
great?
all-time great? No?
Not really.
Counting the top 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 top 10s.
Yeah, and he's consistent. That's who he is.
Yeah, he's always been a top 10 machine. He just finally got over the hump with the majors. Do we see him winning other events next year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the opposite. Next year, I think he wins maybe 2 or 3, 4 times, but I think no majors.
No majors. I like that.
I would love to bet no major. I think there's no chance he wins a major next year.
Going to Quail. He fucking loves that place.
That's true. That is one. Yeah, it is one that he could get. But I just don't think so.
I don't see him winning a back-to-back Open. Masters, I don't know. I'm not going to rule him out there.
Just so not easy to win it, but
right.
6 or 7 guys. Of course he's one of them.
Yeah. So, all right. Next on the list, Rory.
Real quick with Xander, is he your player of the year or no?
No, after Scotty won the Olympics, that sealed it for me.
Yeah. Okay. Easy. Yeah. Rory.
Tough to say. This was not a disappointing season. I know he won the Zurich and he won Quail. If those putts go down at Pinehurst, I mean, it's an extremely successful season. So it's obviously a fine line with Rory. The only thing that matters for Rory at this point, and the only thing that has mattered in the last 5 years for Rory is majors. So yeah, unsuccessful season, and I don't know what to do with this guy.
I would say extremely unsuccessful because there probably would be a debate that we could have is say if he had a season where he won 5 times in one of the elevated events, but he didn't really do much. I mean, he won
his tournament.
He won his tournament, and then that's it. I mean, the U.S. Open, Thank God we had Bryson, because if we had just Rory and somebody else took it from him, that would have been incredibly devastating.
Yeah.
But that has, and you think he's still mentally a little
It was
messed up.
devastating to me still. I kind of wanted to see those two go into a playoff. Like, we were robbed of that. And I still, as much as I love Bryson, I was rooting for Rory that day.
Yeah, I don't think I had any preference, but I might have been rooting for Rory. But I like him. I hope I mean, he's getting up there now. We kind of talked about this the other day. Like, he's exiting his prime a little bit. Next year's his age 36 season.
Did you hear him talk about how he played too much this year?
Yeah.
He's playing 5 more times. He's playing in not this week, but next week at the Irish Open, and then Wentworth. And he's got 3 other scheduled events.
There's not much he can do. He has to play 4.
Right. But yeah, he's going to take off some events next year. I'd imagine that's going to be the ones around the majors where he'd like to play coming in.
Would he skip the Canadian Open?
Probably has to.
But I know he likes playing that, but I think that's probably the one he has to skip.
They fucking love him up there.
Yeah, I know.
He skipped Travelers this year, and he skipped Waste. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd like him to play Waste. I always thought he could win that.
I did too. But yeah, unsuccessful season. What do you see out of him next year? I mean, we're going to the PGA where he dominates.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see. But the thing with Rory is these courses that he's played so well at before at majors, it seems like he doesn't do well in those ones.
Yeah, he didn't do that great. I think he was 22nd when it was in Quail last time.
And then Valhalla, I mean, everyone thought this is his spot.
Right.
And what else? There's an Open that he won. Oh, Liverpool.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I think it's just not as easy as it seems. Like, oh, Quail, it's Rory. I don't think it's going to go that way.
Well, what's his best major next year to win? Actually, he kind of, besides the U.S. Open, he was pretty bad in all the majors.
I think it's the U.S. Open. I still think it's the only one he can really win going forward. If he really wants to get to 5, it's going to be U.S. Open.
More than the Open? Going to Portrush. Probably wants redemption after his dismal performance.
Yeah.
Last time there.
But why would this be any different?
I don't know. He saw Shane do it.
Yeah. I think just U.S. Open, his record's incredible.
Yeah.
The Open is just, I think it's almost too much pressure there too, because it feels like that's the one he should win.
Yeah. I mean, he has one, right?
Right. That's the one he should. I mean, that's the one everyone's like, all right, well, you got to contend with him in Europe.
Right. He was just no on Masters?
Yeah, I'm a no forever on Masters.
Okay. What if he comes out, wins 3 times early in the season?
Then he's going to have so much pressure on him.
So much pressure.
It's tough, man. It's like the perfect storm. And it actually was when we bet him at Pinehurst. I thought it was a perfect situation. Always going to be
no pressure.
But there's the least amount that we've seen on him in a long time. And that's one of the reasons we liked him.
That's when you get on Rory.
But then it's like it rears its ugly head because there's no pressure there. But yeah, now Sunday you're in the final group. Now there's the pressure again, and that's when
pressure came back. Yeah.
So it's tough, man. Would not surprise me at all if he never got another one.
It's fucked.
What would you put the odds at?
He has so many chances, and he has so many good finishes. I just think it's gonna happen eventually. It has to.
Minus 150, yes.
Yes, that he wins.
Yeah,
I think I'd bet yes. I don't know. I just feel like water will find its level eventually. I know it's been 10 years because it's the 11th season, but.
So for him, at what point would you consider his career to be a disappointment? How much does he need? I think if he retired today, we'd have to look back and say it was a disappointment, considering where he could have been on the all-time great list. And he hasn't won a major in a decade. But what does he need to say, all right, he did it. He did what he had to do. He got to where he needed to get to.
He's got 25 wins, bunch of Euro wins. I don't know, man.
I think no, not disappointment. Yeah, no, I know. But yeah, there's always gonna be a disclaimer. So you have to say it's a little bit of disappointment. When you bring up Rory 20 years from now, the first thing someone's gonna say is he should have won no more majors. He didn't win a major at age 25 and greater.
All right, but what about like 50 years from now, when we're all dead and people just looking back at the stats, nobody looks back and sees Jack Nicklaus, like, or not Jack Nicklaus, not a good one. No one's gonna look back and see like Harry Vardon won this many majors, but he only won it like the first 5 years of his career. Nobody talks about that type of shit.
What do they say about Greg? Do they talk about his 2 opens?
They mostly talk about Greg choking at the Masters. Right?
Exactly. I think, I mean, he still won 2 majors, and and they don't really talk about that much. I still think, 50 years, I still think there's a slight disconnect. Like, he could have been the best one. He could have been a top 3 player of all time if he just.
Yeah.
And what's he now? 8 or 9? 10?
I don't even know if he's in the top 10. If their careers ended at this very moment, whose career is more successful, him or Brooks?
Brooks.
Yeah?
Well, 5 to 4.
Yeah.
But it's funny, one major difference, and Brooks's legacy is always going to be this big game hunter, this closer.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather have Brooks's legacy as that than being the guy who's had all the talent in the world and couldn't really see it through to where it needed to go. I think he needs 6.
6. So not one more?
If he gets 6, then I think there's no more questions. You can't say anything about it. But I don't think he's going to get there.
You see him staying at 4 or going to 5?
I think it could be 4. But, I mean, it doesn't mean all that being said, if he's 18-1 in these majors, I'm going to bet him. But
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, who is he right now? And if you compare him to a player on the all-time list, who is he? 25 wins, 4 majors.
He's fucking Ernie Els.
Right. And shouldn't he be better than Ernie Els? I know Ernie's great.
I don't know how many. Ernie has 4 majors. No, I think his career is the same as Ernie Els right now.
It is. All right, so career trajectory. Here's the thing. Data Golf has a career comparison thing. It's funny, correct? The top
Ernie had 19 PGA wins.
Yeah. Right now, the most I don't know how this makes sense. Top comparables is 2014 Sergio, and then 2004 Ernie, and 2012 Luke Donald.
He's the second best European golfer of all time, in my opinion.
Better than Seve?
I think so.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Seve has 1 more major than him.
It's close.
It's Faldo, Seve, Rory. Those are the top 3. Rory should pass both of them, though, if he wins a major, in my opinion.
Shouldn't he have been better than Faldo?
Yeah, Faldo didn't win that much.
The difference is Faldo was when came and did nut crunching time, he won majors.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't win a U.S. Open, didn't win a PGA. Won 3 Opens, 3 Masters.
Right. But if you look at the play, like that generation, isn't Rory kind of the Greg of that generation, and Nick is kind of the Brooks?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So interesting. It's interesting. I think hopefully he has 1 more. So next year projection, I do think we could see one of those Rory. He has one of those seasons in him where he's winning events a lot.
He won a lot of events last year, didn't he?
You mean not this? Yeah,
2023.
But I still think he was one of those, like, he looks like the best player in the world for
like 5 wins.
Yeah, looks like and he just looks eye test. He's the best player in the world for a 4 or 5 month stretch.
Yeah,
he has 1 more of those in him. I think maybe it's next year.
Okay, next guy. Very interesting. Next 2 guys here. So, Colin Morikawa.
Weird season for Colin. I would consider it a disappointment.
He even said it yesterday they interviewed him after. He's like, yeah, I had a good season, but you got to look back and no wins. And I want to win. I need to win. And that's all that matters. So even he was holding himself accountable.
Yeah,
That being said, I do think he was like top 3 consistent on the tour.
he was the third best player of the season.
Yeah.
He was. But again, I agree with him. He needs wins. I think, but again, we always talk about these ebbs and flows in careers, and he probably won more than he should have up into the season. So Water find his lever, balance out a bit. He probably could have won a couple of times, didn't. So I think Water's at his level now. Next year we might see. I think we probably see him win a couple of times.
Yeah, 2-3 wins for Colin next year. I see him. He plays the Masters really well, man.
He could win the Masters.
He can win the Masters. Don't love him at Quail. Oakmont.
Nah.
No.
I don't think he's a 4 major guy.
I don't think he's going to win a major next year. I think the Masters will be his best shot, but I do see him winning multiple events.
That's what I see. I think he's going to win maybe 2 elevated events.
Yeah.
And I agree, Masters is his best shot. I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't get more than 1 more major for the rest of his career.
Yeah. He's still so young, though. He's going to give himself a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, he's still young. He's I like Colin. He's going to be a buy early guy next year.
Yep, I agree. Next guy, Ludwig, going in for knee surgery. Going to be out like a month or so before I guess he's going to play some events this fall. We'll see. We kind of had this conversation with Devin. I'd say good season for a rookie, but where he was priced on the odds board week in and week out, 12 to 16 to 1. This was a vastly disappointing season.
I agree. I think he should have. And the difference,
based on expectations.
Right. You can't think he had a good season, then also simultaneously think he's a good bet at certain events at 14 to 16 to 1. If he's a good bet at 14 to 16 to 1 every week, then he needs to win.
Yep.
And he didn't. I think it was disappointing. He had a couple chances, and the chances that he did had, he looked bad on Sunday. And luckily,
open, he gagged. And people want to give him Pebble, but like Scotty, JT were there. There's no guarantee he was going to win Pebble based on what he did on Sundays all season. Can't hold against him. He had a great Masters. That knee injury popped up at the PGA. Where else did he have a chance to win? Scottish, right? U.S. Open, he was there through 2 rounds and then kind of lost it.
We weren't worried about him.
No.
So the PGA, I bet him, like that was before we knew about the injury. Then the injury stuff came out. I just stuck with the bet. But I think after that, we realized something was a little bit off, and we didn't bet him once the rest of the season.
Yeah. I wanted to bet him at the Scottish. I didn't. That would have been another killer.
I had the surgery he's having.
Yeah.
Pretty minor. Yeah, pretty minor. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. Just a little cleanup.
But I say disappointing season. I know was a rookie, somewhat of a rookie, half a rookie, I'd say, because he started in June of last year, of 2023. And he got 2 wins last year. But yeah, winning the RSM and winning the Omega Masters, I expected him to come in and win. And where he was at in the odds boards, he should have won. I don't understand how you cannot say it wasn't a disappointing season for Ludwig.
It was. And again, he's not 22, man. He's 25.
Yeah. Moving forward, do I expect him to win a shit ton of events? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
His talent is out of this world. What do we think majors next year for him? Is he going to contend? What do you think?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it could go either way, man. If he ended up being an all-timer, it wouldn't shock me, obviously, with the talent. He's great. But would it shock you if he ended up being this highly, being Adam Scott?
What do you think he's going to be a 1 major guy? I think that would kind of shock me.
Would that have shocked you? And if someone told you that about Adam Scott in 2010?
Yeah, it shocked me. It would have shocked me.
yeah, we want to give out all these majors. There's only so many you can give out,
Right.
and I think so.
It
I
also
do
just
think
takes time as a young player. It takes
it does.
time to win. It takes time to win majors. I know everybody just sees Spieth and Morikawa, but like eventually, but they haven't won majors in a while.
And that was kind of the debate. Like when they started winning them, it was like, is this the new norm? And everyone kind of accepted it. Maybe that was the outlier.
Yeah,
The norm
those
is
were
the same
definitely
as
the
it always
outliers.
was.
You had those two and Rory. Like, look at when DJ didn't win major. Took a while for DJ to win majors. He was contending in all of them. Brooks won in his in his late 20s. Took Rahm a little bit. Even took Scheffler a couple seasons.
Yeah, he was 26 when he won his first, and even Morikawa. I mean, if you wanted, there was no fans at either of his majors.
Yeah, those were fake majors.
Yeah, in an Open with no win. So, yeah, I do think that's the standard now. It's like you gotta get some seasoning. I don't know if Ludwig's even ready yet. Do you?
To win a major, his talent is there, but yeah, I don't know.
So let's look at the fits for him. I like him at Augusta.
Yeah, he's always going to be good there, I think. The short game's relatively okay, right?
It needs to get a little better.
Needs to get better. I like him at Oakmont, right? I don't necessarily like him at Quail, or should we like him at Quail?
I don't know. I don't think I like him there now.
And then the Open.
Is he gonna be guys comfortable playing in these Open championships?
I'm not sure.
I feel like he should be.
As much as these guys are European guys, they're still
Yeah, he went to
cut their
Texas
teeth
Tech.
in the U.S. He went to Texas Tech.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love the courses for him all that much. I think Oakmont probably is his best chance, and I think just his skill set, long and straight, perfect drive with a golf ball, U.S. Open is probably his best long term.
Yeah.
But I'm not in a rush to bet on any majors next year.
No. Me neither. Especially at the odds they're giving. I mean, what is he? He's in the teens and all. If he's 25, 30, I'll bet him.
Right.
That leads us to, okay, I'm going to ignore these OWGR and we'll go right to Bryson. He's number 10 in the OWGR. What's the deal with Bryson? Weird.
I know.
It was great in the majors, but weird fucking year on LIV for him.
Very weird. Do you think these guys either have to like focus on being a good player on LIV or like gear it towards the major focus?
I don't know.
Like, what if this season his goal was to get himself ready in the best possible way, in a way that he only can do a certain number of times per year to peak, and he did it for those majors?
I think that's what they should be doing.
I do too, and I think that's kind of what he did.
Yeah.
You can't play your top golf, your very peak game, at 4 different parts of the year. I mean, like 8 different parts of the year, all scattered throughout. I think you got to kind of gear it towards what you want when you want to peak.
Yeah, agree. He's also course dependent, and a lot of these LIV events are just horrific for him.
He's so course dependent. I thought the most impressive thing he did this year was finish 6th at the Masters.
Yeah, nobody expected that. Yeah, because we expected the PGA. You were more confident at the U.S. Open than I was with him. I didn't think he had that short game that he displayed there at all. But
short game was fantastic.
Short game was incredible. And then we didn't really expect much at the Open, but he cut the wrong side of the draw anyways. I don't know what the LIV schedule is next year. Do you forecast him winning? He's got it, right?
He will. But do you think I don't know about the LIV schedule in general. I've been thinking about this lately. And I do think, like, I kind of disagree with this at the beginning, people saying they can't be at their best. I don't think the schedule is conducive to It's being sharp.
Aren't they front loading it now?
Well, when they did that, Bryson was sharp in the early majors.
Right, but it's geared around the majors, isn't it? Now you get lots of breaks once the majors end.
Right. That's why I think he's not playing that well right now, and he's not winning live events.
Yeah, agree. But isn't that what they want?
Yeah, I think it is. But that's why I don't think he necessarily means he's going to be winning on live.
Right.
I think maybe, I don't know. It is good that they're seeing that, but it makes the live. I guess my point is, it's making the live events really hard to predict.
Yep, for sure.
I don't know who the fuck is in form.
Well, we did see basically the best players won on live this year, though.
They did.
Besides Steele.
But it made sense because you see Rahm was getting informed because he was getting sharp. He was playing these events, played the Open, played the Olympics.
Yeah.
So you want guys who are sharp, but those are hard to identify outside of, the very top.
Right. But overall, I mean, super successful season for Bryson.
Yeah.
Best Masters finish. Obviously won the U.S. Open. Second at the PGA. I don't give a shit about a live win. What he did in the majors was second to only Xander.
If you look at winners and losers of the season, who had the best season, I think he's up there. If not,
he's third.
After who? Scotty?
Scotty and Xander. Xander has 2 majors.
Yeah, I'll put Xander 1. I can make the argument that Bryson had a better season than Scotty.
Oh, I don't think so, man.
Not in terms of wins, obviously. Scotty's season was better. But who was elevated more for what they did this year? I mean, Bryson had a lot to gain. Scotty had a lot to gain. He won one major that he's already won before. Bryson won one major that he's already won before, too. But public perception of him was that he's not a good major player anymore.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but I just don't think the season. Yeah, I agree with that, but I just don't think the season were comparable.
No, they weren't comparable, but I feel like he took the biggest step forward of anyone this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Last year, I tried telling people Bryce was a top 5 player in the world. People were laughing at me.
Yeah, and now he basically is.
And there's no way you can argue it.
Right.
I said Bryson wins a major next year. Last year, I tweeted that. I went through the comments on that, and people just completely shitting on me.
Yeah. That's a good segue. So that leads us into the guy we think is going to win a major next year. And he's on live. The big Spaniard, Jon Rahm. Crazy high on his major chances next year. Mm-hmm. I think he'll have a great chance to win Augusta. We pounded him at the Open, 18-1. And did you bet the PGA?
Not yet, because I can't. I might put a little bit on it, but I can't get it on. I need to get some money in the legals.
So we've been betting them anything kind of in the teens, right? Especially that Open number.
Crazy.
18, which is nuts. I mean, just saw it. He's going to get over his sadness at the beginning of the season that he was going through where he sucked in the majors. You saw it at the Open and then the Olympics. I mean, Jon Rahm is probably the most talented player in the world, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
And I see him contending in every single major next year.
If there was a bet to win a major next year, every person was the same price, I would be betting him.
Yep, definitely.
So I think over Scotty.
Yep.
Xander, whoever else, he'd be the first bet I would make. I would be genuinely very surprised if he doesn't win one.
This is like the same feeling that I get with Bryson coming into this last season.
Yep.
The only difference is Bryson, they were actually giving us fucking numbers to bet.
I know, but
Rahm, they're giving us a little bit of candy, but not like 20s like they were with Bryson.
Bryson, they're giving us 50s.
Yeah. I got 100 at Augusta.
Yeah, me too. So I think obviously disappointing season for him by any standard.
Extremely disappointing season.
One of the most of anybody.
Probably, yeah. Right? Definitely the most. I mean, he won one live event, was top 10 in every single live event, had some very bad Sundays, completely gagged the Olympics,
You
which
did.
is one of the better events this year outside the majors. And then the only good major finish he had was at the Open.
His open performance was very good.
Yeah, he was in the bad wave, one of the few guys in the bad wave, and finished what, 6th, 7th?
7th.
But
So
the rest of the majors, he was terrible.
Terrible. But we weren't high on him at those times. He's another one. His form was dipped, and he's ebbs and flows of it, and he was in one of that low points. But I think there are Live fans who will say he had a good season because he was in the second in the season stands in Live, and he was top 10. That's bullshit.
That is bullshit. He had a shit season.
Very shit.
I mean, is Rahm finishing 10th in a Live event good?
No.
No, he has to finish top 5 in a Live event to be a good tournament for him.
He has to win.
Right, but anything like outside the top 5, like I don't even like.
Bad.
Yeah, and that's just the expectations you have on Rahm and that on that tour right now.
Being the best, going when he left, he was arguably the best player in the world.
Yeah.
So just like Scotty, if Scotty's 5-4-1 and he finishes in 8th, that's not a good tournament for him.
Right. So yeah, Rahm, disappointing season. Fully expect him to bounce back this year.
2025 power rankings for me is number 1.
Oh, there we go. All right. All right, let's go to this next guy. I'll stay with the Live thing. Brooks Koepka. Won twice on Live. Was pretty bad in majors. How do you rank him?
Disappointing season.
Extremely disappointing.
He needs at least. He didn't show up at any of them.
No, what was his best? Let me see. He made the cut in all of them, I believe. Yep. So 45th at the Masters, 26th at the PGA, 26th at the Open, and 43rd.
Just not good enough.
Yeah, 26th at the US Open, 43rd at the British. Yeah. There's no top 10s in majors.
And the question
I don't give a fuck that he won 2 Live events. Extremely disappointing.
Yeah, and who on? Then that's what I'm starting to question. Like, if this is really conducive to them playing well, which they believe it is, and Liv believes it is, and I don't know. I've gone back and forth. Who on Liv had a successful season this year? Bryson.
Burmy.
Yeah, a couple.
Burmy was good in the majors.
Yeah, Burmy had a good season.
Not Cam Smith. Oh, Hatton. Hatton had a successful season.
He did. I'd argue Neiman had a successful season.
And
too.
Neiman, yeah. In Neiman's mind, he had a successful season.
Yeah, in my mind, he did too. Because do they think higher? Do people public perception is that higher on him now, or when he joined Liv?
Higher now.
Right. So I think he did good to. Now going forward, it's not successful anymore until he starts playing better in majors. But to this point, I think it was a positive step.
Sergio had a successful season?
Oh, yeah. Yes. He had a great season.
Yes, Sergio. So Brooks won twice, and he had 3 other top 10s on Live.
3 other top 10s. Yeah, he had a good live season, but I don't think he cares or anyone really cares.
I don't even know if it was that good. He won twice and finished in his 7th in the standings right now.
Yeah.
On Live. Like Bryson didn't win at all and is 9th in the standings.
Right.
That's pretty crazy. Bryson actually had some decent finishes.
Yeah, and Bryson could win this next one, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Brooks, with thoughts on majors next year, I could see him at Oakmont and Augusta. And actually, I fucking love him at Portrush. Forgot that.
Yeah, I like that a little bit.
I can see him contending next year, whether he wins or not. I do know Portrush is his favorite course in the world.
It does seem like the way it goes, though, for him. Like, it'll be every other year. It does seem like he's next year. That means he's going to be contending in him.
Yeah. We're gonna get
But
some numbers on him, I think.
yeah, I think you could definitely bet some of those numbers. I definitely would, but it would not surprise me if he never won another one.
Oh, really?
It wouldn't surprise me too much. No,
You once told me that a while
I
ago.
did. It worked out for a year. Luckily, I was on the one that he won, though.
Yeah. All right.
He's 34. Yeah.
Who has a better chance to win one, Rory or him?
Him.
Agree. All right, back to some PGA guys. We'll go down the rankings real quick. Wyndham Clark, 6th in the world. I don't know.
Bad.
You think he was bad?
No, I mean, I don't think it was a good season for him.
Finished off pretty well.
But he just you can't be that shit in all majors and have to say it's a good year for a player
That's true.
who's
Did he
supposedly a
miss the
top
cut in all the majors?
all but one, and he finished like 40 something.
Yeah. All right, bad. I agree. I fucking hate that guy. Hideki. It's number 7.
Hideki.
Very successful.
Yeah, he had a good season.
Won twice.
Yeah, I like him at Oakmont too.
Won twice. What did he finish? He finished 9th in the FedEx. He's just a weird dude. Weird guy.
Top 5 player on the PGA Tour.
They get the big 3, Morikawa. I don't think he is now. I'd put Victor over him. And I'd probably can I put Cantlay over him?
That's tough because Hideki won two events.
Well, last year he was top 5. Yeah, I'd put Scotty, X, Colin, Hideki, top 4 seasons last year on the PGA.
He had a fucking great season.
I don't think he's a top 5 PGA Tour player. No.
Okay.
I'd say he's in the 6 to 8 range.
Okay, that's fair. I think I probably agree. But yeah, he had a great season, and I think he's one of the few guys for me. Just I don't know if this is a personal thing because you and I love him, but when he's playing well, I think it's great for golf and great for the PGA Tour.
It's awesome. He's got all the colors going with the shirts and shit. It's just great.
Yeah, if Cantlay plays great, is that really great for the PGA Tour?
No, it's terrible. No one wants to see a slop ass. But Hideki, you got the fucking Oakleys going. It's just fucking electric stuff.
He's the man, and he you see people talking about live with him now. The ship sailed there.
Yeah. So what did you hear?
So I got the exact story, and definitely confirmed true by someone close to the story. So he had a deal for $250 million, and it was basically a done deal. Everything was done besides the signature. So he was going to join Live 250, but then last second the PGA Tour swooped in and said they were going to disbody PGA Tour Japan if Hideki left.
Which I don't understand why that matters, because Hideki, like, wouldn't the PGA Tour just fucking look like shit if they did that?
At that point in time, though, what they were doing was protecting, everyone's perception. They were protecting the Saudi government from buying Hideki Matsuyama. And if people said that's what they did to prevent it and it worked, and the Saudi government didn't get their hands on Hideki, I think most people would have come to their defense.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. This was last year, wasn't it? This time last year?
Yeah.
Weren't we kind of over that shit?
Or no, I almost think it was 2 years ago when he almost joined.
Oh, really? I thought it was okay. Then I somewhat agree. I thought it was last year.
The big rumors for Hideki was the first season.
I thought it was the end of last year. It was like him, Clark. No?
Maybe. I think last year was more the Finau and Clark and
Hovland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think, this is another conversation, but do you think anyone's going to Live next year?
I know you don't, but I can actually see it. Yeah.
Any top 40 players in the world?
Yeah, I can see it. I think people are fed up. I think guys are fed up with Monahan. and how this season went.
So who are some candidates you think you could see going? I just don't disagree with what you just said, but I just don't see anyone who makes sense.
I think players are kind of fed up that there's no deal done. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but who
I couldn't give you a name. I would say Clark, Vic, Hideki, Finau. I'm still shocked that none of the fucking Koreans have gone.
Yeah, Sungjae. Yeah, I'm saying no.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's a pretty dead off season that we're gonna get.
Which kind of sucks because then it's just we get more of the same shitty 2 tours.
Yeah.
All right, next guy, big bounce back candidate, Victor Hovland, 8th in the world. Had a good FedEx playoffs. Got himself to East Lake. Pretty horrific season by Vic. Showing signs of life. He's got to be another guy you look at majors. He'd probably be number 2, right?
Yep, I was going to say he's two in my power rankings after Rahm. I think he has a massive, massive season. And obviously this one was a very big disappointment. I mean, remember after the Tour Championship last year, he was like the guy.
The guy. I think he restores that where it's him and Scheffler.
I do too. And Rahm, and I mean, obviously in the other events, but I think
on the PGA, it's him and Scheffler. I think he's going to pass Xander next year.
I agree.
He's going to have a very similar season to Xander this year. Maybe one major, 4 wins.
Yeah.
3-4 wins.
I agree. I think so too. I think he whatever he was going through, I think he mostly figured it out. I still think he needs a little bit of time to sharpen it up, but I still think those swing changes, and why did he go through? And that's the question. But those swing changes take time. Even Tiger, when he went through swing changes, he would go through a little lull.
Yep.
Before it pays off. So I think that's kind of this was his lull, and he thinks that, you know what, maybe the change that he makes ends up being better for long term.
Yeah, hope so.
So majors for him.
What did we bet? We bet him at the Open, right?
Yeah, 20.
25.
25. Yeah, that's right. I like him there. I like him. PGA. Do you like McQuail?
Let me see what he's done there.
I want to say he finished 3rd there once.
You got to be so good around the green. I don't love him at Quail. I kind of like him at Oakmont. And I don't mind him at the Masters if he's hot.
Yeah. I do think Masters. I think he'll win a Masters eventually.
Yeah, I don't know if next year. Yeah, he had a 3rd at Wells. 3rd, 43rd, 24th.
You know what? I think he might be my pick right now to win the Masters.
Really?
He starts off the season hot.
Okay.
I like his.
I bet you he wins Pebble.
Yeah, I could see that. Getting progressively better though at Augusta, for the most part.
I mean, before this season, yes.
Yeah.
And 2023 season, finished 7th.
Yeah, so that's why I think I think this season he just had a bad season.
Yeah. So very high on Vic moving forward. And we need that. Golf needs that.
He's so much of a best player than Scheffler would be for them.
Yeah, right. Next guy, GP, 9th in the world.
Very unsuccessful season.
Very unsuccessful season. No wins. Saw his butt buddy take a step up. And yeah, he played some good golf down the stretch and then a bunch of events, but for his talent, he's got to win. And he didn't win shit.
Yep. That's right. He very unsuccessful. I mean, hand up, I'll admit, over the last 3 or 4 years, I've said that I think Cantley's a better player than Xander long term, but that's not aging well.
Not at all. Oh man, Yeah, there's nothing really else to say on Cantlay.
Do you think he's good next year or no?
Yeah, I think he's good. Whether he wins or not, who the fuck knows, right?
He hasn't won since what, 2022?
Yeah.
It's been
Well,
a
we
while.
keep giving everybody win. We just keep saying Vic's going to win 3 times, Morikawa's going to win 3 times, X is going to win 3 times, Scheffel's going to win 3 times. There's only so many wins you can dole out.
Right. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
No, it wouldn't surprise me if he won multiple times, but it wouldn't surprise me if he won 0 times.
Can he win a major?
I don't think so. Do you think so? Maybe the Masters.
Is he too talented to be a 0 major guy at the end of his career?
Yeah, but I don't think he's a multiple major guy.
No, I don't either. I think he's probably a 1 major guy.
Yeah, but I just don't know when it's going to be. Give me a fucking, what would you bet him at Augusta? What is he right now, actually, at Augusta?
They're probably a shit number. I'd like a 40.
Oh, I'd bet a 40 at Augusta. Definitely. Cantlay. He's 30. Not terrible. Anything else on him?
Well, I think we got to stay true to that. You got to bet him on bent.
Yeah. But even like BMW, he putted like shit.
He's been putting bad lately. That's the biggest difference. Like when he was winning these events, because he was gaining 6-7 strokes putting. He's never going to be the guy who's gaining 8-9 strokes on approach.
Yeah.
He's okay off the tee. Like he's not great.
Wow, Morikawa is 22-1 at the Masters.
Is that good?
I think so, isn't it?
I think it is too.
He's top 5 every year there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think he is, but he is. Vic's 22 too.
I like that too.
Cam Smith 28 again.
He'll be 40 when the time it comes off, and I'll probably bet it.
Yep, definitely. All right, nothing else on Cantlay. A few more guys. Tommy, obviously, disappointing. I'm still not afraid to bet him, though. I don't give a shit. It's going to happen eventually.
No, the Olympics one was a great bet. He played well enough to actually win that if Scotty didn't storm.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot his pants or anything.
Nope. Still don't understand what he was doing on that chip. I don't know why he didn't putt it on 17. So, I mean, yeah.
He played great golf this season.
He did.
But he's in that category now. There's only one thing he can do to have a good year, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, and it's win in the United States.
Yeah.
Or Canada, not on European soil.
Right. Or even
it's fucking wild that he has 0 wins on the PGA Tour, and some of these fucking shitbags have wins.
Is he playing?
Come over from Europe, huh?
Is he playing in the right events to do it?
He probably isn't. But what is he supposed to do? He's like a top 10 player on the tour right now.
Yeah, he's not going to play in the Puerto Rico Open or whatever. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Does he win next year?
I can't say yes with a straight face, but I hope so.
Our generation of players is starting to age out.
I know.
I mean, obviously he can still be good till he's 38 or whatever. But what's he, 34?
Yeah, I know. My favorite golfer outside of Tiger is aging out very poorly.
It's weird because they're all this, like, see the age. He was born in January 91. So
33.
Yeah,
Gonna be 34 next season.
He's a couple months older than me. Brooks is a couple months, and he's a couple months younger than me. Brooks is a couple months older than me. But yeah, we're all getting old. So these guys, I mean, time's clock's ticking.
Yeah. All right, I'll just name some guys. Just say good season or bad season. Tagala.
Good.
Keegan.
Great.
Great, just because he won the BMW. Everything else was pretty shit.
Yeah, he won a playoff event and he became a Ryder Cup captain.
Yeah, true.
Henley, he should make the President's Cup team. I will talk about that after, but I think I don't know. It seems like he kind of established himself as like a top 10 player on the PGA Tour, but also didn't win.
It's fucking insane that he's a top 10 player on the PGA Tour.
I think good just because everyone else
It's
by
not
default.
there.
Yeah, it's just good by default.
Yeah. He definitely should be on the President's Cup. And if he's not, it's fucking a travesty.
He does. He should be. He only missed it by one spot.
Yeah. Bob Mack.
Great.
Sam Burns.
Bad.
Adam Scott.
Bad.
Yeah. Henley, McIntyre, Burns. You see any and Tagala, those guys contending in majors next year?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
You think? Obviously wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think it's a no sure thing.
Right. Okay. Harmon kind of went back to the guy we expected him, and that he's always been.
Right.
Sanjay.
Bad season.
I still can't believe he didn't win Wyndham.
I know. He hasn't won
now.
I'm going to say bad.
No wins.
And no wins. And look at all these other players who are elevating because of all the talent that left the tour. Like, shouldn't he have elevated himself to a top 5, 6 guy, win a couple times, and like really take that next step?
Yeah. Do you think the live stuff and the lawsuit stuff is weighing on him?
Yeah, I do.
Has to
Absolutely. be. I think there's a lot going on there that a lot of people don't know.
I think he goes to live.
Yeah.
I really do. This would be my one prediction, who I think goes.
I hope so, because in my tweet that he was going would be right. It hadn't. But but honestly, the deal was on the table. He said yes to 80 million in last second, said he changed his mind and wanted 100, and they said no.
Yeah. Homa, obviously terrible.
Terrible.
He's back to the guy he's always been, baby. Life is right.
If you can win, maybe it's in Napa or something.
Yeah, 3-letter.
3-letter.
Shout out Gigs. Tom Kim.
Tom, I'm going to say bad season for Tom.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's
he should have won. He should have won.
And that's the regression that we expected, though, a little bit.
Yeah, winning side. He should have won, though.
He should have. Week 4.
I'm going to skip over a bunch of these guys. Rye, Horschel, and fuck them. Matty Fitz, terrible. He's your
horrible
Omega favorite this week.
Yeah.
Horrible. Akshay.
Great season.
Cam Young. Awful.
Horrible.
The fact that he's not going to be on the fucking President's Cup team is fucking embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
He was like 20th in points. How is that possible?
He had a horrible season, and now I think it's becoming even more of a mental hurdle for him. Like, I think he's starting to really weigh on him.
Yeah. JT, this is an interesting one. Horrible, just because he didn't really contend.
I mean, it seems like he's getting there, and I'm guilty of it. I think we both are, saying he's close to being there. He's close, and he doesn't do it. At some point, you got to pay it off. It's now been since the 2022 PGA Championship that he's won.
There's no 62s in that fucking engine anymore. Saturday 62s.
No, I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, we're viewing him as the most talented player in the world, right?
Yeah.
And now, I mean, he seems so far away from that. Even when he's at his best now and he's playing well.
He is playing well right now.
He is. And so I mean, we can say I think he bounces back this year, and I do think he does. But words only do so much. I mean, how many times can we say it?
Yeah. So does Cam Young or JT win next year?
JT does.
JT does? No Cam Young? You don't think Cam Young won't win at all?
No.
He could go to live too, actually.
Probably should say fuck it.
Yeah. Also forgot what?
Do you think JT wins next year?
I've been saying this for 3 years now, but yeah, I do.
I really do.
I think Cam Young could win next year, though, too, on the PGA.
He could. I think JT could win Fortnite if he plays.
That's probably going to depend on the President's Cup selection.
Right. He's becoming the top 6 3 years in a row.
I think he plays if he gets selected.
Okay.
Get into that in a few minutes here. Akshay, we also bet. I bet Akshay at a couple majors, 125 to 1.
Yeah, he could take the next step. I still think it's probably too soon.
Too soon, yeah.
But I still think triple digits you're fine.
Yep. All right, there's a few other guys I want to hit on before we get to President's Cup. Shane Lowry, decent season, no wins. That's a loser. Here's an interesting one. Nick Dunlap. Expectations going forward. Obviously, he had a successful season.
Yeah, I like Dunlap. I think he deserves some of the respect that he's for some reason not getting. And I don't know what it is, and not like we loved him either before, but if you look at what he did as an amateur and the things that he accomplished, combined with what he's doing right now, we should be talking about him the way we talked about Jordan Spieth, right when he was 20. But it doesn't feel like he gets talked about that way.
Yep.
Do you agree with that?
I agree, yeah.
But he's young. He's still too young, I think, to.
It's got to be the face.
Yeah, it has to be. But is he still too young? He's all right. So he's born in February. He'll be 21 next year.
He's not even 21?
No, he's 20.
It's fucking wild.
It's insane.
He's got just as many wins as Aberg.
Exactly. He's 5 years younger. I think the driving accuracy needs to improve. That's his biggest weakness.
But the talent is just there.
Talent is there. Yeah, good iron player. Hits it far. But
yeah,
he showed some inconsistencies. Like these events, he missed the cut at the Wyndham at the 3M. He missed the cut at the John Deere. When he won the Barracuda, he'd missed the cut in three out of the 4 events, and the one time he made it was the win.
Yeah.
So I think he's getting more consistent to be considered in the.
Which is expected from a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then this last group, do you expect them to bounce back? Or what kind of season do you expect? You got Willie Z, Jordan Spieth, and I'm going to throw Dustin Johnson in there too.
Okay, I think.
And Ricky Fowler.
We could see Zal bounce back. I do think the concern is how much ball speed he's lost since the injury and how important that does seem to translate to today's game.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he never gets back to peak form. He was a late bloomer anyway.
Right.
So I'm not convinced on that. How about you on him?
He started to show a little bit towards the end, but it's all going to depend on that back injury. I don't think he gets to where he was, but I think we see some good stuff out of him next year.
I think he's the candidate of the player who everyone's going to be in a rush to say they're back and bet him at these events coming, but he might let you down on that. Like he might be the JT of this year.
Right. Like it. Kind of agree there. Ricky, is he dead?
Yeah.
Completely dead?
I mean, how do you work so hard over the last however many years to get back to the point where people think you're a good player again, you're playing like a good player again, and now then you regress right away. Next year's his age 36 season.
I think life's just kind of hitting him. Kids, family, that type of stuff.
He was horrible this year.
Horrible.
Just a horrible player. I mean, I didn't expect him to regress that much.
Yeah, no, I expected him to remain a top 30 player on the PGA Tour. I expected him in the playoffs.
Was he in the Ryder Cup team? Feels like a lifetime ago.
I know. Yeah, remember he gave Tommy that putt from like 3.5 feet to win the whole cup?
That's a Ricky move.
All right, and then Spieth.
I could see him bouncing back because he was doing some really good things before that wrist injury, and he's still hitting the ball
off the tee figured out.
Yeah, he really got that figured out. And the injury, I'm glad he got the surgery. He should have got it a while ago.
I know. He's just trying to set himself up for next season, I guess.
But then you got to work yourself back from the injury now. So I could see maybe coming on in the second half of the year.
Yeah, kind of agree.
Because you can play well.
But it does take a while off those wrist injuries.
We talked about that in the past.
Yeah.
It took JT a while after that wrist injury.
Yep. Burger.
Yep.
Hell knows with that guy too. All right. Last one. Give it to me straight. Is my guy toast? Do we see a resurgence? More. I see him win in live events, but do we see him be a factor in majors moving forward in his career, or is he just done? Like doesn't give a fuck. Done.
Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
He's done.
So I do see him continue to win some live events. I mean, he won a live event this year.
Yeah, I think he's done. He's 40.
We won't see him in a major contending again.
Ever?
Yeah.
Well,
or in the next like 4 or 5 years.
Not in a consistent way at all. I think he's going to be bad in majors, but he's the guy who would if you see him in the mix, he's 42, 43, and Dustin Johnson's in the final group on a Sunday, and everyone's like, holy shit, can he do this? And not win. I do think he'll pop in another major at some point in his life, but I think his days of consistently being able to contend against the best in the world are over.
Since that great 2020 season, he has 3 top 10s in majors. That 2020 season was when that shortened COVID year, won the Masters, second at the PGA when he was leading, remember?
Yep.
That was before he won the Masters.
Yeah.
Remember you wrote an article about him?
Yeah, Harding Park.
Yeah. And then he was 6th at the U.S. Open. We are going back to a U.S. Open he won at. Maybe get the Northeast Pole. Can you see anything there?
I would love to. I would love to. I mean, if we get an 80-1, I'll sure.
He's just living life, man.
Yeah, he's living life, and I think this probably speaks to what's gone on since he won. But once he got that green jacket, I think he was satisfied with what he's accomplished, and he needed one really badly, and he got one. He did what he had to do, and I think that was enough for him, so he can live with himself.
Yeah, because he's not a one major guy and should never have been a one major guy, but he almost got stuck on one major.
Yeah, and most people with his talent and pedigree,
he should have won 4 or 5.
Right, would not have been satisfied with 2, but I think who he is as a person,
yeah,
I think that 2 is enough for him to say, okay, I did what I had to do.
Oh, definitely it's definitely is to him as a person.
Yeah.
But it's just better if you see him and Rory with their struts down the fairway. I mean, it's just better golf, man.
Oh yeah, but now he has that volatility in him now that he never had before. The
volatility. Yeah, he's
like even when he was great and not winning majors, it's because he just go in neutral. It wasn't because he would blow up and shit. Like I feel like now it's like even when if he had a 2-shot lead in the second round of a major, he's making a fucking triple somewhere.
Yeah, that's what he did at one of his top 10s actually at LACC. He made that quad in the second round. He still finished 10th.
Yeah, that was his first round leader there, I think. And he but like Harding Park won, that's like, yeah, he's just coasting and he's not making birdies, he's playing par golf.
Yeah.
I hope to God he's back. I would love to see him have one more.
I'm just gonna let you guys know right now. I will have a silent bet on DJ at every single major next year. So just know I got a piece of it. Probably won't be a full bet, but I'm definitely going to be in, especially if those numbers are in the hundreds again.
Devil's advocate here. Would it surprise you if he does from age 40 to 43 have one more resurgence and play like one of the better players?
No, it would not surprise me at all.
Okay, so
talent's just always been there.
And guys do play well in that stage of the career. He is just one of the candidates to not be built for that.
Right. Yeah. Oof. That'll be tough. I hope I'm wrong on him, but
me too.
Doesn't look good for my guy. All right. That's it for guys. I'm going to get quick FedEx Cup and then we'll get into the European Masters.
Yeah. What about the FedEx Cup?
Not FedEx Cup. Sorry. President's Cup.
Yeah. All right. So I'll tell you my team. I wrote about this a couple weeks ago.
So this is who you would select?
This is who I would select.
All right, that's what I want to do first. Then I want to do who we think they will select.
Yep. So who I will select is you get I'm just going to pull this up. So in on points for the U.S. We start with the U.S. team.
Sure, U.S. You get Scotty, Xander, Colin, Wyndham, Cantlay, Tagala already in.
Okay, so we need 6 picks. So my picks are, first wild card for me is Keegan. I think with the win at the BMW, that locks it up for him.
He's your 7th guy?
It's not necessarily in order.
Okay.
I do think he's a lock, though, yeah.
I do too. Yep.
Okay, so we both have Keegan in. The
Yep.
next guy I wrote, again, not necessarily in order, was Burns. I think the way he finished the season, his relationship with Scheffler, and this is who I would have. I think a couple factors that make sense for him. He's been good in match plays, and he also has been very good in Canada.
Yeah, and he's a good putter.
He's a good putter. I think he's going to be a good course fit. He's played in the Canadian Open 3 times, finished in the top 10 twice. And I think the way he's hot. You need to bring a couple guys who are hot.
Yep, I got Burns.
Okay. My third guy I got is Finau. I just
got
think
him.
you're one of the best players. You got to take him.
Yep.
He played pretty poorly though at the President's. He's one of the few guys with President's Cup experience.
But he's good at Ryder Cups though.
Yeah. In Melbourne, he was bad, but or not that great. Okay, the next guy I got is Henley.
Yep, agree.
Uh,
He's the 4th guy in, I think. I think you get Burns, Finau, Keegan or locks, and then Henley would be my 4th guy.
Yep, me too. So and I do have him in that order. He finished in the top 7 in the last 2 majors of the year. I didn't really realize that.
Yep, he was involved at Troon for a bit.
Playing good golf. And then the next guy I got is Akshay.
Okay, that's what I got too.
I want to put a young guy on the team. He had his best finish ever at a major. He was finished T16 at the U.S. Open this year. He's played in the Walker Cup, and he's had some. And I think you got to start indoctrinating some of these younger guys. There's a good way to do it.
Okay, I agree with you. I'm there with Akshay.
And my last guy was Billy.
All right, so we get the same 6.
Same 12. Okay, so
yeah.
And so the notable misses there are JT, Dunlap, Homa, Young, Harman.
All right. So who I think they're going to take? I think they're going to take JT.
And who they're going to leave at home?
Billy.
And you think the other ones are all going to be the same?
Well, I am worried they could leave Akshay home.
I am
as
too.
well. But I think the first 4 are locks. Burns, Finau, Keegan, Henley. But I think JT's going to be on the team.
What if they bring Homa?
They better not fucking bring Homa.
It would not surprise me, man. He was the best player at their Ryder Cup.
But he's not even. He's dropped so far in points, man. He's not even in the top 15 in points anymore.
Was JT when they picked him for the Ryder Cup?
I don't know. JT's 15th in points. Billy 13th. Actually 12th.
The thing with JT
is somehow 11th.
Yeah, weird. The thing with JT taking him is I think last time they did it, and I was in favor of them taking him last time. You were too. I think that was his. Hey, we're going to bring you. You're the guy. You're one of our, leaders, etc. That was the bone they threw him, and then he had a chance between then and now to show that he was back, and he didn't do it.
Plus, there's no Spieth too.
Right. That's why I think they can live with not taking him.
Do we want them to take him so we can bet him at the Fortinet?
Probably.
But you think they're going to take Billy?
I think they should.
I think they should too. Akshay better be on the team.
That'd be stupid if he's not.
So,
to me, I think those 2 guys, they could definitely leave out.
JT and Billy?
No. Akshay and Billy.
Oh, I agree 100%.
But we agree.
Harman, no. Homa, you can't. There's no fucking way. Homa finishes dead last every fucking event now.
What if they put Dunlap on instead of Billy? I wouldn't hate that.
I wouldn't hate that either. I don't see that happening.
Okay, so you think it's the only guy right now that they potentially could swap out is JT?
Yes.
You don't think Home is a possibility?
If it is, I'm gonna be betting the fucking internationals.
Okay. All right, international team.
All right, you want to know the guys in?
Yep. I got it.
You got it? Go ahead.
Yeah, Hideki, Tom, Sungjae, Day, Scott, and Benny on all in a matter of points. I sent Benny a little congratulations message when he was on the team, and he answered me within like 15 seconds.
Benny Ann got in?
Yes.
Why do I have him listed 7th here? Oh, never mind. What the fuck? All right. Sorry.
6th.
6th. Yep.
Okay, so my 7 was Corey Connors.
Same.
Best Canadian player. Can't leave him out. It's in Canada. Playing pretty well. He was horrific in the President's Cup in 2020. Went 0-4.
Yeah.
My next guy was Min Woo.
Got him.
I think brings a little swag to the team. They might need a little bit. But
oh yeah, definitely. Minwoo has to be there.
He had a disappointing season though. Didn't make the top 50.
He didn't?
No.
Oh. Should have won Rocket.
Another fucking near miss. God damn it. Next guy I had was Cam Davis. I think that win that he had kind of cements it.
I have Cam Davis.
Makes the birdies. Yeah, no, I think number 10 for me was Pendrith.
Yep, got him.
Got to have a couple Canadians, and he's the second best one. He's also hot. Finished finished the season strong. Another guy who went 0-4 in the President's Cup last time.
Didn't they play together?
Yeah. Okay, so 11 and 12. My 11th is Siwoo.
Same.
Okay, you can play him with Tom. You can play him with Sungjae.
Same with Benny.
Yeah, you got 4 Koreans, so now you can go 2 and 2. I think that's important.
Plus, they all look up to Hideki, anyways.
Yeah, winner, guy who's not scared. Beat JT in singles last time.
Definitely not scared.
I think another heavy dose of Siwoo and Tom, and then you might see Benny and Sungjae.
Do we have the same 12th guy?
Mine was a little out there.
Mine is too.
Johnny Vegas?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So we have the same on both.
Johnny Vegas won't be on the team, but he should be.
Right. He won't be on the team, but he should be. And I would even argue it's racist if he isn't.
I mean, he's playing better than every single one of these guys. They're going to take Seabez. Right?
Shouldn't.
They're going to take Seabez, though, right?
Yeah, but there's a case made for Johnny. So if he wins, Seabez has already shown he's not capable of that. These are the other near misses. Hadwin, sorry, you sucked the second half of the year. Hughes,
yeah.
No, I don't know why we need Nick Taylor. You 3. I don't care if you're Canadian. It's not what it's all about. Take the players who deserve to be there. You 3 do not. Seabez is a loser, unfortunately.
Yeah. He made Eastlake, though.
And that helps him a lot. And
but he also got, you know why he made Eastlake? Because he got credit for fucking winning the Amex.
Oh, because Dunlap won?
He got all the points and the money.
That's real bullshit. EVR, fine leaving him off. Fox, and then Grillo, I thought could be a helpful guy for them, but I just didn't do enough.
Yeah, he didn't do enough. Lawrence?
Thurston?
He's 16th on the standings I'm looking at right here.
I'm going to go with a no. But
okay, so we're only doing 2 Canadians.
Yeah.
I agree. The only one I'd actually, out of the 3 that are on the bubble, Hadwin, Taylor, Hughes, I'd be Hughes.
I guess.
No, I'm not saying I'd take any of them, but he'd be the one guy I would out of those 3.
I think Hadwin's probably the best player of the 3.
You think there's a chance? Does Cam Davis really have a good season? He kind of sucked.
Yeah, he just won.
He just won. If he doesn't win the Rocket. Huh? 9th. No, 8th.
So they're not going to leave him off.
Yeah.
So if they put another Canadian, you think they put Seabez in for Vegas? Who the hell are they putting the Canadian for? They can't.
No, I don't think they're putting a Canadian. But if there was, just people would say we need more Canadians. I would choose Hughes.
Okay. So Vegas, I mean, this is what I like about Vegas here for this. Obviously won the 2 Canadian Opens. I think that is good in itself. He's really hot. He's just won. He's shown he can win more than any of these other players. He has 3 wins, including one very recently. Gaining strokes, ball striking 4 of his last 5 events. He's played in a international side on the President's Cup before. First Venezuelan to represent his country.
The only problem is he would be the only South American guy.
Yeah.
It's just him and Grillo left on the tour. There's no other. Like, we've lost them all to live.
Maybe he goes to live.
I'm surprised he hasn't already.
If they offered him, he probably would. You know what? He has a deal with Stubert, the shirt company, which is the company that makes the uniforms for Turkey and Fireballs.
Oh, wow.
He's the only PGA Tour player who is sponsored by them.
Wow.
Here you go. So yeah, I would definitely have him. It'd be a shame if it wasn't. He'd be electric too.
I don't think it's gonna be, man.
You can bring fucking Seabass instead. Who the fuck wants to watch that guy?
He was there last time.
You didn't even play him, did they?
No, barely.
So, and do you think there's now value on the international?
What's the current odds?
The current odds are minus 230.
What's the internationals?
Plus 160.
Plus 160. That's it.
I don't fucking know. I just made that up.
I wouldn't touch it. Anything below 200.
Let's see. I have odds on the site that I was just looking at. Let me see. It's not gonna be 200. I don't think. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
The U.S. team is not great, but it's still very top heavy. You still have fucking the 3 best players on the PGA Tour are on the United States.
All right, on my one side, I got USA minus 300, international plus 200.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of value there. The only problem is they're going to roll out Scheffler every time, and they're going to roll out X and Cantlay every time. And I'm pretty sure they're going to roll out Morikawa every time.
Yeah.
So those 4 are just locked in.
They're going to be tough to beat. And then if the internationals had a better team, the USA right now is ripe to be beaten, but they just don't have the right team. That's what I think.
But I feel like the the international guys are hotter. Like, look at Hideki, Scott, both hot. Sanjay, I think he shot like 7-8 under yesterday, and was good. And that Tom, he finished the year. I mean, he had a good end of the season, right?
Yeah,
playing well. But then it just falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
But Jason Day, he ain't gonna be scared.
No, but he's playing like shit.
Siwoo ain't gonna be scared. Minwoo's got talent.
It could be interesting. It could be an interesting.
They have talent. Benny's talented. Connor's ball striking wise.
I would like it better if it was at a more difficult, interesting country than Canada.
Yeah.
I don't think the internationals have a huge advantage in Canada.
You don't think so?
Not as much as they would in Melbourne or
a bunch of Canadian guys just rooting for a bunch of Koreans.
Yeah. Like if this is at Royal Melbourne, I might like to.
Dude, they could have beat them that year.
Yeah.
They probably should have beat them that year.
I think Vegas was on that team.
Probably. He has been on teams in the past. I know that.
2017?
Him and Grillo. No, that was 2019.
Okay. So no, he was on the 2017 team. All right. So I'm leaning towards betting America.
Really? I'm leaning towards betting the internationals.
If you look at it, in order for them to win, it takes a perfect storm.
Wow, this fucking international team in 2019 was fucking nasty.
Was it Louis Grace?
Hideki, Neiman, Louis, Scott, Cam Smith, Mark, Sung Jae, Abe Answer, Benny. The bottom of the team was Adam Hadwin and Haotong and CT Pan.
Wow.
US was stacked though too. Cantlay, Bryson, Finau, Ricky, Dustin, X, JT, Tiger. But then they had fucking old man Cooch on the team.
Wow. Yeah, to me, that's the last time the U.S. team was like cool.
Yeah. No, Brooks wasn't on this team. Wonder why. How
So
wasn't he on the team? Must have been hurt.
Yeah, could have been hurt.
Yeah, I'm leaning. I don't think they're gonna win, but I think there's a little bit of value there. But it's probably gonna be a U.S. win.
Yep.
And then lastly, I mean, you're into this more than I am. The Omega European Masters. You done some research on it?
Yeah. Last year I had a 3-man card, and 2 of the 3 came in the top 4.
Okay, same course.
Same course. Crayons is where Ludwig won last year. Elevation, really cool like course in terms of viewing. Might be one of the best. It's like in the Swiss Alps.
So one Fitz has won a couple times.
Yep, Fitz has won a couple times. Again, Aberg won last year. I don't know if you were on. I had Bjork came in second.
No, I was on Wallace the year. Fucking thirsty one.
Mm-hmm. So decent event, decent field. Favorite is Fitz again. I think another opportunity. I mean, now you get a favorite who's really not in good form.
Right.
And then after that, it gets pretty interesting. You got like Rasmus, who's playing really well. So do you want me to tell you who I've bet?
Damn, Fitz's record here is pretty wild.
It's insane.
Second, seventh, first, third. Pretty good.
So
yeah, who you bet?
I bet Nikolai at 22.
Okay, he was 5th last year.
Was 5th last year.
Times. 5th
played
last
great
year.
at the Olympics.
Has he played since then?
He played the Danish championship. He finished 16th. No, he finished 7th, maybe. I don't know. He was good.
Did he play last week?
Did not play last week.
Okay.
And he was in the mix here last time.
His brother won it.
His brothers won it. Yeah, he's T14 at the Danish.
Okay.
And I just think he's a much better player in this tour than he is in the PGA Tour. I think it's just a bad fit for him. I think he's still really good.
Yeah, 22 is a pretty good number on him.
It is. And him and Ludwig, I want to say they played pretty well at similar courses at
last year, 5th here, and Ludwig won.
Yeah, and I think he's good at, you can club down here with the elevation.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to hit driver, so I think that's good for him. Okay, so 22, I really like that. And then 35, going back to Matteo.
Yeah, he was good last week. Where did he finish? 5th?
6th.
Just had that one bad day, knock off the rust on Thursday. Other than that, he was good.
And when he was good, he's played this course well. So
yeah, he's looking at it. Third.
And then T18 in 2011. Then he started sucking. So it doesn't really matter.
Last 4 times he's played, miscut.
But he was one of the worst.
That was all 5 years ago. He hasn't played this in 5 years.
So British Masters last week finished T6, gained 5.5 on approach.
For those of you wondering, that's Matteo Manassero, the Italian.
Yeah, Matteo Manassero. Olympics, he was one of the top in approach, and then he got the rust off and still finished 6th last week after not playing for 3 or 4 weeks. And there's a course that really should suit him. He's not long off the tee. That's his problem. You do not need to be here. So 35, same number as last week when now has a start under his belt and a top 6 finish. I think that's pretty good.
I snagged a 50 last week.
Yeah. All right, the next guy I bet at 45.50 was Alex Fitzpatrick.
Alex Fitz finished 5th last year. Is he playing good?
He finished 5th last year. He finished 12th last week at the British Masters. And then the week before that, he played the Czech Masters, finished T6.
Wow, he's coming in with some form.
Good form, good course history, and 45 I think is a pretty good number.
He's never won on the European Tour?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, he's never won.
Okay.
He's still just 25, and his brothers won at the course, and I think
multiple times.
Yeah, him and his brother played well at similar courses.
Liverpool, they both did well.
Yep. And if he's in the mix, I think maybe, and his brother isn't, maybe gives him some good advice. 45, I think, was a good number.
Okay.
I remember at times last year, it seemed like he was going to win.
Yeah. Did he win on
so-
another tour?
He won his one challenge tour win.
Okay.
And then my last guy I bet was Jacob Skov-Olesen.
Another Olsen?
Yeah, he's Danish. He's still an amateur, but he's been playing really well. He won the British Amateur Championship.
Oh, that's that stud.
He's a stud. He's a lefty, I think. Maybe not. Chubby was really high on him. Wanted to represent him. He thinks he's going to be a great player, and he's been hot as fuck.
Really?
Really hot. I was going to bet him last week, but he didn't play. He didn't get an exemption. But let's see. He just won the British Amateur not too long ago, and then at the Made in Denmark, whatever it is.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, he finished T5.
Okay.
Let's see what else. He was good. He made the cut in the Open. He's low amateur, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
And he's 80, 100 in that range.
What about a guy like EVR Guido? Numbers not good enough.
I was looking hard at EVR. He's like 25 to 1. I'm not betting that.
Got decent history.
The other guy that I was thinking of adding and still might add is Burned.
Burned?
He's hot.
Is he?
He was second here. The last time he played here, he was second in 2021.
Yeah, he's got a 6 too.
I looked at his Instagram story. He's been there for the last 3 or 4 days, and he's posting videos from the range and stuff. Says how much he loves the course.
What's his odds?
25.
What is Burned? Nationality?
He is it Austrian?
Austrian?
The red and white stripe?
It's not Switzerland?
No, he's not Switzerland.
What did you say his odds were?
25.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean he's loves the course. He's playing great.
Damn, I wish he wasn't fucking. Yeah, he's Austrian. I wish he wasn't 25.
He opened at 22. He's getting some steam. I was hoping maybe I might go to 30. He last 2 starts, Czech Masters finished 6th. Danish finished T19.
He's fully on this tour now.
Yeah.
They accepted him back.
Yep. You know he's a winner on this tour.
You don't got to tell me. You don't sell me on Burned. You know I've been there.
8-time DP World Tour winner, wins on the Challenge Tour.
I've hit him twice.
Yeah, wouldn't it be sick? A nice Burn win.
It would. So you definitely bet those guys: Matteo, Fitz, Nikolai, and the other guy.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if we're getting any more drift on Burn. He was 22 when I woke up. Last I checked, he was 25. I'm just gonna double check what he is now.
I do like this event.
It's a good event, and I like the board. It's fair. It feels fair. Oh, he's back down to 22.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know if I can get there. I don't even know if I'm gonna bet this. I kind of like the Nikolai call though, and I'll just ride Matteo because I've been on him.
Yep. Mateo's now moved from 35 to 30.
Damn.
The other names I was looking at, Fitz is now 40. The other names I was looking at was Jesper Svensson. He's 35 to 1. He's been playing really well, but he's never played this course, so I don't know if
What's Soderberg?
Soderberg is.
I feel like I've been seeing him on leaderboards.
I don't believe he's playing.
Oh, I got him here. He's won this event before.
Oh, sorry, 25 to 1.
Ugh.
You got Wallace is 20, Rasmus is 18, Lawrence is 18, Fitz is 9. Then you got EVR, Soderberg, Cantor's 30, Guido's 30.
What's Wallace?
Wallace is 20.
Ugh. Terrible.
But Burns yet to. I like about Burns. He's yet to win yet since he's been back, but he's playing good.
Yeah. What about Rio?
I was thinking about him as well.
He was 13th last year.
Rio Hisatune. He is
Last time we saw him was Wyndham, right? Or did he go over?
no, I think that's the last time. Rio is. I saw him earlier. Where did he go? Oh, 40.
Yeah, rather go Alex Fitz, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But the more I think of it, Burns really growing on me.
You can have a full card this week.
Yeah, why not? It's better than the fucking Tour Championship and better than 50.
It is much better than the Tour Championship. What an abomination. All right, so we got that this week. Next week, you got the Irish Open and the Fortinet start of the fall series and Live Chicago. So we got 3 fucking losers next week.
In the
That should be
following week,
interesting. Huh?
yeah. In the following week, we got
Great tournament.
Wentworth,
PGA, BMW PGA on the Euro Tour at Wentworth, which always attracts great stars, and we already got somebody picked out to win that. And then we got anything on nothing on the PGA that week, right?
No.
When is the team championship for Live?
I believe it's first week of October.
All right, so it's after the President's Cup.
Yeah.
All right, so we got next week 3 events, then BMW.
Yep.
President's Cup.
All right.
Cool.
All right, everyone. Good luck this week. See you next week.
All right, peace.